Hi guys, I'm so excited to talk to you guys today about Pinterest marketing and the potential it has to drive crazy amount of traffic to your website. But before we dig into that, I want to take a step back and find out how we got to this point. So first and foremost, we're going to take a look at Instagram. Instagram is amazing, am I right? I mean, it gives us a place to connect with one another. It gives us a place to get inspired and inspire other people by creating something beautiful. And it also lets a lot of businesses thrive and a lot of entrepreneurs rise. And not gonna lie, some of my best friends have come from Instagram. I've met them through groups, through events, through things that are happening on Instagram. So I love Instagram. I absolutely love it. And in the beginning, it was a great place to grow your business and become an influencer. That's where we got the rise of influencers, of Instagram influencers. It is a whole industry because of Instagram. It's crazy to think that people are literally making a living because of the photos they're posting on Instagram. And this wasn't possible before Instagram. However, it's getting harder and harder to do that with Instagram. There's so many people who just want to make a living being able to travel and create contents just like the top influencers today, but it is very hard to reach that number as the top influencers. And why is that? Well, all it took to grow on Instagram a few years ago was creating great content and posting consistently. Do those tactics still work nowadays? No. We can create great content, but it just doesn't get seen to the public and our accounts are just not growing. Why is that? There was a big shift in the algorithm change. So Instagram noticed there's a lot of people making money off of the platform and they wanted to take a cut on that. So what they've done is they reduced the engagement of the audience so that you have to spend money to be seen. And our average engagement rate dropped more than 50% in just 1 year. So I used to do Instagram marketing and digital marketing for over 6 years now, and I've looked at average engagements, and it's just shocking to me how much it has dropped. 2 years ago, an average great engagement was around 13% on Instagram. 1 year ago, that dropped to 7%, and now it's as low as 1.2%. That is insane. It has dropped drastically, and this is why all these influencers who are trying to make it big right now are having a hard time doing it. And this leads to two things. It leads to pay to play, which means you have to spend money on ads, or it leads to engaging manually all of the free time you have to try to grow and get your stuff seen by other people. So the phrase play to play came from this idea that you have to pay money to be competitive and play in the game. So this means you have to spend money on ads in order to just be seen. The thing is, in order to be successful in ads, you have to have experience running ads. Running ads takes a lot of knowledge in the industry because you're testing multiple variables to make a successful ad. It also means that you have to, while you're doing a lot of testing, you're going to spend a lot of money. And in general, to run ads, you need a large budget. So the last client I worked with, for example, for Black Friday, since they're playing in a big field and they're competing with a lot of people, they had a budget of $100,000 just for the Black Friday campaign. Now, that's unfortunate, and most people who are small business who are trying to stand out during Black Friday just don't have that kind of money, that kind of budget. Now, granted, that money helped them and they were able to not only pay for the ads but make a profit on it, because it does work. You just need a lot of money to do it. So for the rest of us who don't have that kind of money to invest, what we're stuck doing is engaging manually. So this is where you're seeing where you have to answer in comments. You're going to have to go engage on other people's profiles to try to get people to your side. And this is where we've seen the rise of the Instagram bots, where these bots automatically follow, unfollow, comment, and like people's profiles. And people had to get to that point just because they couldn't keep up with doing that manually. I, for example, worked with an Instagram influencer. She's a fashion influencer. And at one point I was answering her Instagram comments, and just to answer comments for one photo, it took me 3 hours because she's an influencer, so she's so popular. She has so many comments that as soon as I caught up to answering the comments, there's more and more and more. So who has just that much time to answer comments. Now, not only that, you're taking photos and you have to post every single day a new type of content that's totally different from the other one. You're creating captions that have to capture an audience. You're engaging on Insta stories every single day. You're engaging with competitors' audiences. You're trying to get people to your hashtags. There's so many different things out there, and it is possible to grow. It just takes so much time. And let's be honest, even when we invest all of that time, we're not growing as high and as fast as we used to grow a couple years ago. And most entrepreneurs are wearing multiple hats in their business, and they don't have time to spend all of their energy on Instagram marketing. So here's where we come in. Do you want to save time and money in your social media marketing? My passion is to allow you to pursue your own dreams and passions. So I launched Blogger Studios to teach you how to launch a website, how to do marketing, how to make more sales. And my whole passion is to create resources for you guys to be able to grow your business. But there's something I've noticed, and this is something that I really wanted to find a way and a fix for you guys, is what I've seen with the Instagram industry. So I keep seeing all these tutorials and lessons on how to grow your Instagram, and I look them all up, I follow them, and it's the same thing. It takes a lot of time or it takes a lot of money. And I know you guys just don't have that. You don't want to spend all this money on ads, and you don't want to spend all your time engaging on Instagram. You would rather focus on what you're passionate about, whether that's creating products or creating great articles or traveling and taking photos, whatever it may be. My goal is to get your time back so you can focus on that and your business can thrive because you are where you are meant to be. So what I have done is I've done all this research to see what is more efficient for you and what takes less time and money. What I have found is Pinterest is referring drastically more followers and viewers to your website than any other platform out there. So I don't know if you guys have heard of similarweb.com. If you go to SimilarWeb, you can type in any website and it gives you basic analytics of that website. So I've done this for hundreds of businesses and websites, and what I have found is every single one, when it comes to social media traffic, Pinterest is their number one traffic. And if not, they're not using Pinterest consistently. That's the only reason their Pinterest account is not the top referring. So take a look at these three. Anthropology, their Pinterest referrals in social media are 45%. The Everygirl, so Anthropology is a store, if you guys don't know, it's a clothing store. The Everygirl is more like a magazine and online subscription community. There's 75% of the referrals from social media is coming from Pinterest. And then Margot and Me is a fashion influencer, and her account as well, Pinterest is thriving and leading more traffic than any other social platform. So let's look at why. Why is Pinterest driving the most traffic? So quick facts on social media, and we can see right away why. And it's surprising to me that I haven't noticed this before. But Facebook has the most social users out there with 2 billion users, and Pinterest only has 250 million users. However, Pinterest drives 33% more traffic than the Facebook giant. That is insane. And then looking at Instagram and Pinterest, Instagram is actually spending 23% more on ads than Facebook, which Facebook is known to spend the most. So Instagram beat it in 2019. And Pinterest is barely starting to use ads. If you look at these two, the best one out of these three to spend the less money and make it more efficient and drive more traffic is Pinterest. So, why should we invest in Pinterest? Here is the big question. There's so many reasons and facts out there, but I wanted to break it down into 2 categories for you guys. 1, it refers more traffic to your website than any other social media platform. And 2, it saves you time. So let's dig deep into this. How does it refer more traffic to your website? Well, each post on Pinterest has a link attached to it. Pinterest users are programmed to click on these posts. When it comes to Instagram, if you add a link to it, what happens? It's not clickable, and you have to add a link in bio. And then how many people really go to the bio? You losing conversions in that. What happens on Facebook when you post a link? Well, Most people, when it comes to Facebook, they use Facebook as entertainment. So when you're posting a link, it looks like an ad to them. It looks like something you want to sell to them. So it's harder to convert. Pinterest, it looks like a beneficial thing. People are searching for these things and they can find it on Pinterest and click the link. The other reason why it drives more traffic is because the lifespan of Pinterest posts are so long. So if you look at an Instagram post, the average lifespan of an Instagram post is only 21 hours. This means after 21 hours, your post is not really getting seen by anyone. No one's really engaging with it. The surprising thing to me was when I found out Facebook lifespan is only 5 hours. What? So all of that effort and all of that work you go to create posts, to create captions, to create images, they're just gone within 21 hours. Now let's look at Pinterest. The great thing about Pinterest is the lifespan of each post averages at 4 months. 4 months. That is insane. And I found this to be true because I used to have a blog that I closed down, and months later, there's still traffic coming to it from Pinterest, and I was surprised to see that happening. Pinterest can also save you time. So you're creating less content because your content lives longer, and you can use other people's content on Pinterest. In fact, Pinterest frowns on you if you are only posting your own pins. People are expecting to come to your Pinterest account and see a curated, branded selection of pins. So this means you don't have to create a post every single day. You're using these different pins to buffer in space between your own content. And it is very easy to automate. So you can do all of your scheduling and everything in one sitting for the whole month. So you can sit there at a coffee shop or wherever you want for 4 hours or 5 hours, and you can be done with all of your content for Pinterest, and then you can enjoy and do whatever you want, and you can see your Pinterest and your site referrals grow. Let's take a look at my own website. So I've learned all these things and I've done this research, but I didn't want to share it with you guys until I have proof of my own work. So here's my new website, and what I've done is I invested the same amount of time, 4 hours, in Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram. And look at the results. Pinterest by far exceeded all the other social accounts. It referred 750% more than Instagram, and it referred 300% more from Facebook. Almost 70% of my social referrals came from Pinterest. Same amount of time spent than all the other ones, and I was able to get drastic growth. Not only that, month to month, it increased more and more and more because the rest of the pins that I pinned are getting seen while I'm adding new ones, and those are getting seen, and you can see how it grows faster and faster. And not only have my website referrals grown, but my Pinterest account has grown drastically. I started applying these tactics in about early February, and by end of April, I was able to get to 1.5 million views a month on Pinterest. I have this old screenshot from my account. Back in September, I had 83,000 monthly views on my Pinterest account, and this is a screenshot from today, how I have 1.5 monthly views. And if you can imagine this on Instagram, can you really go from 83,000 followers to 1.5 million followers in just a few months? It is impossible in this day and age to do that on Instagram. This was very easy, and again, it only took me about 4 or 5 hours a month of investing time on it. And imagine what would happen if I actually invested 5 hours a week on it. This would go insane. So what I've done is I put together a whole course on how to do this from beginning to end, and I organized it all in 8 chapters for you. You can read more about these chapters below on the website, but overall it teaches you how to set up your profile, how to create and use pins, how to set up your boards, how to use analytics to track what's working and what's not working, how to join the community on Pinterest to elevate your pins. And then I also did 2 extra chapters on affiliate marketing if you want to make money through Pinterest, and 1 introduction on ads. So I don't recommend you use ads yet on Pinterest just because it works so great organically. However, the same thing as we've seen with Instagram, where it's going to become that pay-to-play game, we're going to start seeing on Pinterest in a year or so. So why not get ahead of everyone and learn how to use ads now, so by the time you get there, you're going to be prepared and ready to go. You should invest in this course if you want to grow your website views and sales, if you want to spend less time on social media marketing, and if you want to get ahead of the crowd. You can find out all the information below. And if you're not on the website, you go to bloggerstudios.com/Pinterest and it will take you all throughout the details. If you're still not sure that you want to do this, take a look at some of the testimonials of customers that have gone through this course. Melanie Kim has said, "I am so glad that I found this course. This helped me optimize my company's Pinterest and drive clicks to our site." Hey, that's the goal we want, right? Our Pinterest has grown over 300% in a week of making these changes. So you can see how fast you can grow just by implementing a few changes that I've taught you. And then if we look at the next testimonial by Victoria, she says, "This is the most badass online course for Pinterest and I'm absolutely in awe of how easy it was to learn. I make it very easy for you guys. It's just step by step by step, and as long as you're following those steps, you're gonna grow." Lorena is a master when it comes to social media, and she's also a fantastic teacher. If you want to grow your numbers and get your business out there, I will highly recommend this course. So what are you waiting for? There is a small gap before this Pinterest algorithm changes and you lose this opportunity to get ahead of the crowd. Get ahead of the rest and sign up right now. I'll see you in class. I'll see you in class. How do you do the little gun? That was a horse. Okay. Bye.